If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Still Got Game, episode 523. Still Got Game's official podcast at tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek T. Smooth Nolan.
I am Brian Shadow Emmerich.
Selden blew us off tonight.
Yeah. It's just us.
Yeah. It's just
what are you going to do?
Me and my shadow.
He's too busy camping.
See what I did there?
That's not true. But he could be. You never know.
Nope.
You never know with him.
Nope.
He could be camping right at this minute.
He could be. Herding a bunch of underage boys into tents. Like, you never know.
Okay.
All right. I went there. There's certain things about the Boy Scouts that are frowned upon. So
I was in Boy Scouts, but I hear you.
I was in Boy Scouts too. Yes, but I left before all that stuff happened. So
yeah, there you go.
All right, let's change the subject here.
Yes, please.
So if you're in chat right now, you want to talk about something, post it in chat. We'll talk about it. But on that, we'll just jump right in the mailbag for feedback and questions from our last episode, and remind you, if you ever want to leave a fucking voicemail like Selden used to every single week for 10 years, just leave one, but it will cut you off after a minute.
And then 10 years later, you can be on the podcast as a host.
You see, exactly. Yes, you have something to look forward to. So, Samantha Knows comments. I was thrilled to hear that you used my comment on the last episode. My significant other was in the car with me at the time, and I felt pretty famous. Thank you again. Is that what SO is?
SO, yeah.
Yeah, I've never used that in my life. No.
Well, you're on here again, Samantha Knows.
Yeah.
So good for you.
Yeah. 2 in a row.
Thanks for messaging.
Yeah. So do people really use that as a thing? SO?
Yes, they do. People like to abbreviate things in acronyms all the time.
Yeah, that's not.
You got to kind of just pick them up over time. I don't know them all yet, but I'm picking them up slowly.
So at least she looked good in front of her significant other then. So
there you go. Yeah.
All right. Tissue Not Kleenex asks, where do you folks see the console future going? Will this next generation be the last with dedicated hardware? Will people move to cheap PCs now that lower-end graphics cards can do 4K video at high frame rates?
I don't think so, but because think of like your brother who's 15, or not 15, 25. He's just not going to build a PC to play Call of Duty. He's gonna want a console, just something
just like a quick and
buy
easy
a box, stick it under. Yep. No, it may not be like the high end stuff. It may just be like, hey, it's a streaming box. It's it's like a puck size, but it streams Xbox Game Pass to your TV, and that's how you do it. But I don't think people are going to be all building PCs. There's just no way.
No, that's actually like an approach I hadn't even thought of. That's kind of like the stuff that's built into like Samsung TVs and all that, but just make like a little teeny standalone, no power box that can just Bluetooth pair with a controller and you're good to go.
Yeah. Just stream it all. I mean, now some people won't have the internet speeds to stream it, but by that time we're talking like 10 years down the road.
Yeah.
I think by then most of the kind of first world countries will have internet that's fast enough to do that, or the compression will be good enough that it will help with the speeds as well. So, and they might figure out some sort of way to just, because you're talking about just streaming video mostly.
Yeah.
Right. With that, because you're just sending little signals from a controller.
Like they're nothing. It's coming the other way that's the issue. Yes.
But people stream Netflix all the time, and I would say most places, and you can do it on your phone. You can do it anywhere, and so
it's true too. Yeah.
I don't know. And there may be some boxes that are quote more powerful, but I don't know if they really need to be, because all of that heavy lifting is going to be done on the opposite end,
on the cloud side. Yes. Yeah.
But we just have to have systems on their side that work that well. And I know that you might have noticed in the news and people talking where like Xbox cloud gaming isn't doing that great because people are getting in queues and they have to wait for a long time to get into
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
So they have to fix that part of it. But 10 years down the road, I think they will probably figure that out. So I think that consoles how we know them now might be gone in 10 years, but there will still be something that you buy to put next to your TV, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
just me.
Unless all of a sudden people start licensing their shit to all these different TVs, and that's the other option is
Yeah,
because Samsung has the Xbox cloud gaming. I
yeah.
don't think LG has anything right now, and
Yeah, I
those are
mean,
your
10 years it could just be apps,
yep,
just apps
yep.
on whatever you're playing. And TVs might not even be TVs in 10 years. It'll just be us, everyone will have just like a thing they set down on the floor, just projects it onto your wall, and you can do whatever you can
Whatever you
do on
want.
a
Yeah,
TV
yeah,
now on like a phone size thing that you just stick wherever and just
yeah.
projects it.
Yeah, that's
I don't know,
like
who
those low
knows?
throw projectors, the ones that go like
Yeah,
right and they use lasers and they have
yeah,
like a 1 foot gap from the wall and they project like a
yeah,
200-inch
huge.
screen. Yeah, it's
Think
nuts.
about
Yeah,
through think about 10 years from now, what
yeah.
there'll be. Who
The
even
tech's
knows?
only going to get better. So, yeah.
Yeah. So
So
still
either
think it'll be
consoles are going
something.
away, it's going to be some side box, or you're going to have a low throw projector. But one of those things will be true, and we've pretty much covered our bases that will be correct by picking
Or people
three
will all be
options.
building PCs, but I don't
Oh
think so.
yes, yeah,
I
four
don't think
options,
that'll
yeah, or everyone's
I
going to
don't
build a
think that is
PC.
gonna
Yes.
no. No, I don't think so.
But we've
But
covered ourselves on all bounds here, so yes.
yes, yes. Okay.
All right. Pulp Redux 1337. He's so elite.
Sweet.
Comments. Great show last week. I like how even a listener picked on Selden007. Is nothing sacred anymore. Now,
And he's not even here to defend himself this week.
no,
So what
he's
are we gonna
not.
do?
That this would have been such a better question if he was here. But we can say, yeah, it's not sacred. No, he's not. No.
We can pick on him because he's the old card, and I might get my feelings hurt because I'm the new guy. So that's why we do that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That must be it.
That
Yeah.
must
No,
be. Must be. Yeah.
Seldon's great.
Yeah. Oh, Shadow.
Yeah,
You think he's gonna listen to this episode and he's gonna want you to
Seldon,
be
you're great.
backing him up?
You're great, Seldon. You and
Yeah.
your hiking and your
Okay. Now you've
pal
blown it.
and your
You
pal world.
oh you've tried. Oh
I
you
tried.
tried and then you blew it. But
Yeah, well,
at least if he only listens to the beginning of your comment and then his internet goes out, he's gonna be like,
he
oh,
just shuts off.
Shadow had my back.
Yeah. I guess I'll never be able to hear the rest of this. Oh well. The end.
The end.
Uh,
All right.
yes. Well, thank you. Thanks, Paul.
And Altius asks, what are your thoughts on Microsoft shuttering two Activision Blizzard studios only to open a new one? Couldn't they have just redirected to old studios with this sentence
Obviously.
makes no sense. Redirected the old studios to their new AAA
Yeah.
IP, something like that.
The old, yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
the old.
yeah. So
Yes.
so send them to the new their new AAA. Just move them over to there
Yeah.
instead of. But
Yeah.
I mean, then they still would have shuttered them, right? It would still just be shuttering them, and then
And
the people
then
would go somewhere else, but they
and be
wouldn't still be the
rehired at a
studios.
lower rate, and this is what we talk
Yeah,
about all the time. Like I mention this as someone that's in the software industry. Like I would never recommend anyone go into video games because this is what studios do. They they cut people loose, they lay them off, and then they rehire them at a lower rate, and there's very little job security in gaming software. So if you're a programmer, go work for a real company, not a gaming company. I'm
well, I mean, but
sorry.
it's kind of a catch 22. I don't know if that's the term for it, but it's, we want to have games and we want to have good games.
Yeah,
But then we also say, but working in gaming sucks right now and you shouldn't do it. So how do you
yeah,
how do you square that? You
yeah.
gotta have people in gaming making the games, but you also
You
need to
got to
tell
treat
them
them
you
right.
shouldn't do
Yes,
that.
yeah. You got to treat them right.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
the gaming industry is so different than real software development. Like there's not companies that like as soon as they put out like their next software release, they don't lay off
yeah,
70% of the company and then hire on new people and then start working on the next release. No, they're like, hey, these guys know our software. Let's
yeah.
let's keep them going through the process. Like it's so different, and I don't know how gaming ended up this way. And it's maybe because it's you
Well,
need like razor thin budgets and all this stuff. But yeah,
yeah.
it's fucked up.
I think how it got this way is the budgets got way too big. And so now they can't afford to fail. And if they do, or if they don't like make way over what they hoped, then they just say, screw it, let's just cut our losses.
Cut bait and
And it
run.
happens
Yeah, yeah,
way too
yeah,
much.
yep,
It's like maybe games shouldn't be so giant. I mean, we like those big triple, quadruple quote games,
yep,
but maybe they don't need to exist in the way they do now. Maybe smaller games should exist more as a regular thing, and very occasionally there's like a Uber game
yeah.
with these crazy graphics and length, but
Yeah,
I
and
don't think
we've
people,
talked
I
about
mean,
that in a couple of the past episodes where game
yeah,
like publishers were going to make more or less better games. So they were going to make less
yeah.
games but make sure they're all better. And I think
Wasn't it
that
Xbox that said that?
I thought it
I
was
swore they said
I
that.
thought
Maybe
it
it
was
wasn't. Maybe it
Ubisoft,
wasn't.
but it could be all of them.
It could be
Yeah,
Ubisoft.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Um
fine.
yeah, I'm
I
happy
don't
with
know.
that. Like
I
as of
mean,
right now, I feel like there's no good games. So at least
well,
if you're making good games on the reg, then do that.
well, I mean, last year was crazy with games. There were so many good
Last
games
year
last
was, yeah,
year.
the fall, if you recall from our shows, that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like the
too many
season of
things.
like October, November. That was insane. Yeah,
Too many things to play. I couldn't even
yeah,
play them all. I'm still playing games from the fall, and I'll be playing games from the fall for a while probably, which is okay because, like you said, right now there are no games.
yeah. Right now, there's
So,
nothing. Like I
yeah,
looked like when I was doing the outline for today, I looked back and I know you added some shit games that are like remakes, but like
yeah,
I
really shit, just total shit.
I looked back from like the week of May 20th to the 27th, and I looked back
Yeah.
to when we did our last show 2 weeks ago. So that's 21 days of games, and I could only pick out one game, and even that is a game that like I guess it's Hellblade too, but we'll get to that. But
I'll play that.
like one game in 21 days that I would consider like a hot new release is like that's not what you're supposed to do.
But also, I mean, like I was saying before, I'm okay with there being fewer games and not quite as big as long as they're really good. It
Yeah,
used to be in the past that like maybe once a month you'd get a game, maybe like a big game from one of
yeah.
the systems. And then it got to the point where it was like every
Every
month it
month,
was like
yeah,
two or three games, big games from these companies. And then you'd have like a couple months off, like in the summer, things would
yep,
really
yep,
release,
yep,
but then they'd save everything, and then you get to the September and October, and it's like five games are coming out, and that's huge ones. Like,
yeah,
okay, well, let's
yeah.
just
Getting
slowly
the
roll a little
holiday
bit
the
here.
holiday season, like going into
Yeah.
like
Oh, gonna
October,
sell them
November,
all.
December. Yep, yep, yep.
I don't think things are quite like that anymore. Do people wait until the Christmas to buy games now all the time? I don't. I don't. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not a gamer, but even so, like, I don't think that parents these days are going, well, oh, he wants this game that's coming out. Well, I'll wait 6 months and I'll get it for him for Christmas. That doesn't usually happen because things are social now. So
yeah,
kids are playing them online. A lot of this stuff's free to play.
yeah. That's
So
true
they
too.
get
Yeah,
on to play with their friends. So they can't wait that long because by the time that Christmas comes around, that game's not cool anymore.
nah.
Nobody's playing it.
There's the next game.
So
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
where that wasn't really, that's kind of a tangent, but I it sucks because I'm the company Austin that made or Arcane Austin that made Redfall. They got
Yeah.
let go. And they were the ones that originally made the first Dishonored,
Oh,
which
that's right.
I
Yes, yeah,
love.
yes.
I
They did.
love
Yeah,
Dishonored.
yep.
The Dishonored 2 got made by the other Arcane studio.
Yeah.
Begins with an
Arcane.
A. Can't remember. It's like
Yeah, I.
France or something. Anyway, so they made that one, which was also amazing, and they made the other sequel to that too. So I'm not super concerned about Dishonored because they could still make another Dishonored, but will they? Because they're working on Blade right now, so I don't think they will.
Yeah, no, it's
And then
like,
what's the other company that got like oh, the
uh,
ones who made Hi-Fi Rush.
yes, yeah, those guys got cut too. Yeah.
And that
And
was
then
they were pushing that game so hard. They
that
loved it.
game
They
was
were
like a day one announcement release game. Like, if
yeah,
you remember, that came in the Microsoft announcement, and then everybody loved it. But like, why
they
cut
kept
these
saying,
studios instead of
yeah.
like just repurposing these guys and being like, okay, you did this and you did this, but now you're going to work on our new AAA new IP.
I mean, but why also cut the studios when you just said, hey, I want to have, we want to have all these unique games
Yes,
on our system
yeah,
on
yeah,
our
yeah,
service and put them out to other systems too, and have be like the place where you come for special games. And then the one they've been hyping up the last year that everyone loved, then
yeah,
they just closed down the studio. Why?
yeah. No,
No one
it's
understands this, and it's not. It's got to be some higher ups, like looking at the books, going, "Well, we bought Activision for or
yeah,
billions and billions and billions of dollars. So now it's we just call the
no.
shots, and you just close these because we don't want them on the books anymore. I don't
Yeah.
get it.
Either that, or if you close them, then you get to rehire these guys at a lower
Maybe,
salary than.
but then they're not going to do it. Like, who would do that?
Well,
I
if you
don't know.
don't have a job's better than no job.
That's
As
true, but at
someone
that
that's
point,
worked for a company that shut down their entire Massachusetts operations, like, I was looking around and I was like, well, I'll try for that, try for that, try for that. And I ended
yeah,
up lucking out and ending up with the best possible thing. But I have friends that just took the first thing they can find because something is better than nothing.
sure, but at the same company, like later, like 6 months down the road, the same
You
company
fucked
rehires you. Are you
me,
gonna, are you
and
gonna,
now
are
you're
you
gonna
gonna
fuck
trust
me
them?
again. Yes, yeah.
You're not gonna trust them.
Mm,
You're gonna be like, no, I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna
yeah.
figure something else out because I don't want to get screwed again. And people who have families, they're gonna
No,
get
I
screwed
hear
again.
you.
So
It was a weird pull, um, but hopefully things work out, and I'm glad that they're still pushing forward with these new IPs. But yeah, it was.
what
Uh,
do you think about Phil now? I mean, people used to trust him, but I don't think anybody trusts him anymore. And I don't think it was
yeah,
necessarily his
I
thing,
don't think it was his thing either. I think this all
but
comes down from,
the buck kind of stops around him, He's not
well,
the president,
he's
but he's up there.
yeah, he's the answerer, but I think all this comes down from Nadella. That's where I
Yeah.
think it's a top to bottom thing. Um, but it is what it is. So
But if you're gonna do that and then just be completely silent about it, not say a thing about it afterwards, like we aren't all
we don't
waiting for
see
you to
what's
make a
happening.
statement.
Yes, yeah,
Like
yeah.
we know what's happening here. You're not making any statements. You're just being silent. That's not a good look, man. And I don't
No,
think, and I it sucks because I really liked Phil, but in the end, you got to realize, well,
it's a
he runs a
business. Yeah,
business,
yeah, yeah.
and you can't trust people that are up that
That
high,
run
no
a
matter how much
business.
you really want to. Yeah. I mean, people love people like Steve Jobs and that, but he was still just running a business in the end. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Anyway, it sucks, man.
It does suck. So, all right. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that a lot of those people can be rehomed in this new organization because obviously they're talented folks, and this does unfortunately happen all the time where people get rehomed to other studios. So uh, best of luck to them, and it's never a
Yeah.
good thing, but uh, yeah, we got your backs. So
Yep. I hope they all land on their feet very
yeah,
quickly. But it's a lot of people. So,
it is.
you
Yeah.
know,
All right. Well, if any of you have stories you want us to talk about, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@toolplay.com, and we will talk about these next week. And on that, why don't we jump on over into what we're playing? Shadow, you've been playing probably more shit than me, but what have you been
just
playing?
barely. Mostly just testing stuff like I've been doing. I finished up my X Station for my PS1, so I'm playing some of those, test them out.
Nice.
I just got a PS3 that I hacked just a couple days ago. Been working on that.
Oh,
But
Shadow's
yeah,
breaking the
just
law. Law
I
enforcement, tune in,
I
tune in.
can't if you can't buy the games anymore, is it? Is it? I don't know. It's only the games that you can't buy anymore.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Um,
Fair enough. Yeah.
so yeah, been working on that stuff, just kind of finally getting some things built that I've been waiting on. I got a screen from a Game Gear that I got put in tomorrow, maybe.
Cool.
And yeah. But I've been playing God of War Ragnarok some more. Played a little last night. Just
Yeah.
pushing through that. It's still like, all right, this is fine. You know,
It's God
I
of
don't know.
War. Yep.
It I know what it is, and it's being God of War, and it's
Yeah.
fine.
You know
And
what
I'll
to
get through it
expect.
eventually.
Yes. Yeah.
I know what to expect, which is kind of nice because I can just, okay, well, I'm gonna play an hour of God of War, and then I'm gonna do something else, and then tomorrow I'll play another hour, and then eventually it'll be the end.
Yeah.
And it's fine. I don't know. I don't like the combat in this. I still don't like it.
Yeah.
It's not very intuitive, and the blocking does not work well at all. Still, like I'm just kind of rolling the dice whether or not I get a block. And there's
Yeah.
certain types of blocks that you have to do. The red, the yellow you can block, like when they
Yeah.
have like
The
these
red
little
you
this little
can. Yes.
color.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then
Yeah.
the blue is you have to slam your shield into the ground, so then it knocks them back. And the red you can't block, and so you have to remember the colors and what to do
Hmm.
each time. And when there's like, I swear there is probably 90% of the time I'm fighting one guy and I have whoever's with me, usually just the guy at the head that's on my
Yeah.
belt.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you got somebody behind you." Every time there's somebody behind me. You have like a red arrow behind you. Like, well, I'm fighting this guy. So what do you want me to do? I can finish beating up this guy, or I can turn around and hit
Or
the other
I
guy,
could
but then the
fight
guy
that.
behind
Then
me
this guy's gonna
now
kick
is
my
gonna hit
ass.
me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
well, I can't get everybody, and I have the chains which you can whip around sort of, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't mastered the move set on that, so I don't know.
I
Again,
hear
it's
you.
fine.
I hear
Uh,
you. Frustration level is high. Yes.
yeah. So how about you?
The only thing I played was some WWE 2K24. Played a few matches of that. Like we've
Wait,
been doing
wrestling
like
you? Wow.
I know, yes, I know, yes, yeah. But we've been doing graduations and all this other shit, and going to
Yeah.
colleges and driving kids home and driving
Jeez.
back and picking up other kids
That's
because
a
there's
lot
not
of
enough room
adulting,
in your
man.
cars. Like there is so much shit that kids have at school. And if you
Jeez.
have more than one kid, sometimes you can't fit all the shit in your car. And you have to
Yeah.
drive someone home and then go back and pick up the next kid. So yeah,
At
it was
different colleges?
at different colleges. Yeah. So it's
Yeah. Wow.
yeah. So there was a lot of college driving.
And that's
Hence
why
my
that's why we're having a show today instead of
instead
who
of
knows
last
when in the
week or
past.
two
Yeah.
weeks ago. Yes. Yeah.
At
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah.
It's a lot
So
of
my
stuff going on.
yeah. So my second oldest daughter graduated from Syracuse. So she was in the
Cool.
business school and the
Congrats.
communication school. She graduated summa cum laude. So
Nice.
yes,
I don't know what that means, but cool.
it's whatever the most badass way to graduate is with
It's like
A's
4.0
across the board.
or
Yes, yeah.
nice.
And then my
Congrats.
son at Hobart, we picked him up. He's like that's like 30 minutes from Syracuse, so he came back with that. Then we went out to Worcester to pick up our other son, and yeah,
You mean
it was
Worcester?
yeah, Worcester, or if you're talking about the sauce,
Worcestershire?
Worcestershire sauce. Yes, yeah. But yeah, it's pronounced Worcester if you're from
Yeah.
Massachusetts. But yeah,
Okay.
so that was the remaining three kids that are still in college, and then my other daughter is down in Houston. She was out without power for 88 hours with
Whoa.
those storms in Houston and the
Oh,
tornadoes and all that.
I don't think I knew
Uh,
about that.
yeah, but
Jeez.
power just came back on today. But yeah, it was like 93 degrees out, but she
88
said
hours.
her place never got above 77, which to me
Well,
seems
that's
hot, but I guess if
lots of
you're in
fans. You could maybe do it, but you don't have power. So what are you gonna
if
do?
yeah, if you're in Houston, maybe 77 doesn't seem that hot, but she said they never need to bring their
Yeah.
cats out to the cars to run the AC or any of that. But
So yeah, you live in Houston.
yeah.
You're like 77. Maybe I should put on a
A
jacket,
sweater, yes.
a sweater. It's getting a little
So
chilly.
yeah, yeah, shit was weird in Houston for the last few days. So
Oh,
yep.
jeez.
But now
All right.
everybody's back to normal, and running wild. So
Now you can get back to playing WWE, I
WWE
guess, again.
2K24.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
All right, on that, why don't we hop on over to the new releases? The only real new release this week is Senwa Saga Hellblade 2,
Senua's Saga.
out for the Xbox and the PC. This is the Hellblade 2.
Sequel to Hellblade.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good way
It's
to put it. Yes, yeah.
I'll definitely be playing this. This is on Game Pass too, so
This
hey,
is on Game Pass day one. So,
instant play.
yes.
I didn't play. I heard Senua's the original one was very good, and I hadn't played it for a bunch of years after it came out, and finally, I think last year I finally played it, and it was
Ah,
really good.
yeah.
But it's a game you have to wear headphones for because it's all about like the voices in her head
Oh,
talking
yeah.
to
So getting
her
that,
like
like,
back and forth all
yes, yeah.
over like spatially like
Spatial, yeah, the spatial
yeah,
audio. Yep,
it's
yep, yep.
really cool. It's
Nice.
not too hard and you can set it on whatever difficulty you want. It doesn't affect achievements. I don't know how this one's going to be, but it's probably going to be the same. You just have to pick up certain collectibles to get all the if you care about achievements to get all the 1,000 points. And this is probably about the same, but it's a cool story and yeah, it's good story about just like kind of mental health and people who have issues with that and probably relate with that sort of thing. But I
Nice.
recommend playing the first one, but maybe just jump into the second one now if you haven't played that and you just want to do it. I'm sure it'll be fine. There'll be some sort of recap, I'm sure. So
I
yeah.
wasn't going to play this, but I know it's going to be super popular. So, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. But we don't, who knows? I mean, the first one was critically acclaimed, but you know how that goes
Yeah,
with Hi-Fi
yeah,
Rush and who
yeah,
knows?
yeah,
So
yeah. That's when you close studios, obviously. Yes.
yeah, hopefully not Ninja Theory. And we don't want that.
Yeah. All right. Next new release out, sort of.
Yeah. Do you want me to go
Shadow, I'm
over
gonna let you
these
take
or?
these two. Yeah, why don't you go
Okay.
ahead? Yes, yes, yeah. I'm gonna
All
sit
right. So
back and watch you do this. Yes, yeah.
just cross your arms. There's no other releases out this week.
No.
So the next new release this week is System Shock Remake, the console version. So out on Xbox One and Series and PS4 and 5.
Yeah.
But not on Switch, I don't think. This was the this was the remake that was on Kickstarter 8 years ago, and I backed it. And I had requested the Xbox version, and the PC version came out, I believe, like last summer. And I just been like waiting for them to put out the Xbox version, and now it's coming out tomorrow. I still do not have my code yet. It is out in, let me see, 4 hours, 5 hours, and I don't have a code yet, so I'm
4 hours East Coast. Yeah, or
kind of
three.
pissed off about
Yeah.
that. Keep asking them about that. So that's out. Yeah, it's out on Tuesday, I believe. Yeah, the 21st. And I think, and yeah, so there's that. And if you want to
Mm,
play that, I heard it's great, and I will find out soon, 8 years after I backed it. So I'm not
nice.
bitter or anything.
No, it doesn't seem
It's
like that at all.
no,
No,
no, not
no.
bitter, but so we'll see. And the second one is Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door remake on
Wasn't this like a
Switch.
2004 game?
This, yeah, it was I think it was 2003 or four. Yeah, one of the two. And yeah,
Mm,
it's like almost 20th anniversary edition and remake.
that's
It's
probably why I
out
didn't
for
put
the
it on the
Switch.
outline, if you know what
There
I'm
you go.
saying.
Yeah, Switch and remake. This is not a game. This is
It's not
not a
a
game that's
game.
coming
It's
out.
not a
It's been
game.
out and it sucks. Uh, it's my favorite. It's my favorite Paper Mario, and I'm very very stoked for this. My son hasn't played it yet, and yeah, I've been waiting for a remake of this for years and years. It's so good. It's the best Paper Mario, and if you like those games, definitely pick this up because it's great. It's back when they actually had turn-based combat that wasn't just toads, and they had
Yeah,
characters that weren't just toads. Because now the new ones, all the characters are toads.
they're
It's
all
Mario and
toads. Yeah,
Luigi
yeah.
and Peach and Bowser and toads. That's pretty much it, and the bad guys. But in this one, you have, I think, like 5 or 6 different like friends or helpers that you can switch between and fight battles with, and it's a turn-based combat. And they all
Old
have
school.
their
Yeah.
special abilities, old school.
Yeah.
You when you get into battle, you go in like stay a stage and you have like an audience, and if you do really well, you get more and more audience, and those are
Mm,
toads.
mm,
But they
mm-hmm.
watch you, and then you get more power-ups from them randomly. They'll throw them to you. But yeah, it's a turn-based RPG. It's not too hard. It's got action combat in it where you do a move, and then if you hit a button at the right time, you do more damage, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's got a lot of the hidden stuff. The world doesn't flip like the Switch version did, the Super Paper Mario, but you can go behind stuff and you can go between things because you're paper. And yeah, I'm really excited for this.
Because your
So
paper, yes, yeah, yeah.
because you're paper, but it's a great
This is what
story,
Shadow
lots of hidden
loves. Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I do, yeah, and I still haven't gone back and like gone through Super Mario RPG yet, the remake of that. So
Ah,
I will have that and this kind of all
look
lined up
at
next,
you.
probably.
Yeah,
I know I got a lot to play, but
plenty of stuff
just
teed up.
too busy building consoles, but I'm almost done with
Mm,
that. So all I've got left is finishing up an Xbox eventually, like an original,
yeah, nice.
and
A
finishing up a
180.
3DO that
Yeah,
yeah, 180. A 3DO that I've got some capacitor issues with, and that Game Gear. And I think that's it. I might get a
nice.
Jaguar someday, and I might get something. Oh, a 32X possibly, but we'll see.
Yeah, look at this
All
kid.
right, so that
He's
was a
on fire.
tangent, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that
So
wraps
that's
up our
it.
new releases. Yeah, and some of them are not new. Two of them, Shadows ones. Mine was new.
They're
But
if they may be new to you though, and they are actually current gen versions,
yeah,
so it's not like old looking.
no, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Shadow defends himself much better than Selden. Selden would have just been like, "I'm a bitch," and
you're
then
just
just
and
sucked it
and
up.
he's
Yes,
not
yeah.
here to defend himself, so
No,
he's
still again.
just gonna
Yes,
it's
yeah.
just gonna sit there. It's gonna
We're
lay
just
there,
gonna
and
keep
he's a
riding
bitch.
Selden all day. Um,
Oh, how dare it.
all right. If you're in chat right now, you want to discuss something, post it. Other than that, we're going right into gaming news. First story. Adobe threatens to sue Nintendo emulator Delta for its lookalike logo. So, um, if you know the Delta emulator, it's not red like Adobe; it's purple. But it's the Delta symbol, which is a triangle, which looks a lot like the A in Adobe that doesn't finish either. It goes one side down and across and doesn't complete
Yeah,
the triangle. And that's the same symbol this emulator uses. But um, yeah, who'd have
it
thunk that
really does look. It does look identical though. It's
they
just purple.
like, and maybe it's a little thinner lines, but yeah,
It's a
they
little
look,
wider, but yeah,
yeah,
it's
they look
still.
identical. Yeah, they
I
definitely
mean, put the
stole
cut on
this.
the other. Put the cut on the other side. Like, why have it be exactly
Yeah,
the same?
you could do it on the left instead of the right, and then
Yeah,
they would be
yeah,
totally different. Well,
totally different. And there's no box. There's no white
somewhat different.
box. No, enough
uh,
that. I mean, really, the in the end, it's because it's Adobe and they have all the money,
yeah,
and this emulator that plays ripped games,
yeah.
they have no money, so they can just shut them down.
My
They don't.
question is, how did Adobe even like come across this? Like, these are two like they're swimming in separate pools. Like
Somebody told them. I
they
mean,
were
somebody
like,
went and
"Oh, these
reported it
guys
to
stole
them.
your logo," or like some employee at Adobe was like, "Yeah, look at this
Well,
shit." You know,
I mean, at that level, you not just hire people to kind of go around the web looking for infringements. I'm sure you probably do.
man, I
So that
don't
might have
know.
been it. Just,
Yeah, it's
just scouring, check for
yeah,
infringements.
but yeah, it was
Uh,
definitely close. So, all
yep, yep.
right, next story.
Uh, report Microsoft to add next Call of Duty title to Game Pass.
Oh,
I
what a
mean,
surprise!
did we not all see this coming? Uh, although I will say that how their financials have been lately, I mean, they may lose a lot of money doing that because they're
No,
not getting the
no,
$60 for each person or 70 now
no.
that they know they're guaranteed for Call of Duty. So what's that going to do? Maybe it'll, well, I mean, maybe it'll get some Game
Get
Pass.
more subscriptions. Yeah,
Maybe, and people who play it online are probably going to keep subbing. But if they are going to play it more than what, like 3 months, which they probably will, they'll
no.
probably just buy it and then not sub to Game Pass. So I don't know. I mean,
But
does that
Game
make
Pass
sense?
also has all the other things that come out on Game
They do.
Pass.
It's a great deal. I mean, it's still a great deal,
I
and we know
know.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But people who play Call of Duty, I would say
Only
mostly
play
only
Call of
play
Duty.
Call of
Maybe they
Duty.
play Madden
So,
too. Yeah.
yeah,
It's that
maybe.
crowd. Yeah.
But I mean, think about a year of Game Pass is like $180 or something like that.
Yeah.
And a Call of Duty bought outright is $70.
Yeah.
So you're still paying less than half just to buy it. So will it draw people? I don't know.
But then you're also
But
buying Madden for 70, so now you're at 140.
well,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
But they don't
assuming
know
that these
they
are all
don't
the
own
same
EA.
degenerates. Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're probably the same degenerates that
Come on.
play
Coming from
Forza.
a site coming from a site where like half people played Call of Duty back in the day.
Okay, and
And
coming from a guy
Forza
that plays the
and
WWE
Gears
games,
and
yes.
whatever.
Like I
Yeah.
can talk shit because I buy the WWE games. I pay
That's
money for
true.
them. They're not
That's
on
true.
Game Pass. I pay
That's
outright.
true. You can talk shit about anybody now
Yes,
because
yeah, yeah. I've earned it.
Yeah.
Or I've spent it. One or the other.
Uh,
Oh.
well, I mean, it says back in October last year, they said, well, we do not have plans to put Modern Warfare 3 or Diablo 4 into Game Pass this year once the deal closes, blah, blah, blah. We'll expect to start working on Xbox to bring our titles to more players around the world. So they put Diablo 4 on Game Pass like last month or the month
Yeah, I
before.
think
And
like
so,
a couple months
I
back. Yeah,
mean,
yep.
yeah, so we kind of all knew this was going to happen. It would have to, right? And
You
I don't
you
know.
wouldn't have done this buyout if you were not going
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
I
No.
mean, and I guess they'll get their purchases on PS5 from people and PC, but it still seems like they're leaving a lot of money on the table doing that just because of the way
They
that
are,
people
but it
will
brings in the
buy Call of Duty.
subscriptions though. That's the trick.
But I guess if they're going to buy it anyway, they'll buy it, and
Yeah.
that's money still goes to them. And
Yeah.
then anybody else who just wants to try it out and like, hey, I'll pay him for a month of
I'll
Game Pass
subscribe
to
and yeah.
play it this
Yeah.
month, and
I'll
that
forget to
that's true. I mean,
unsubscribe and then I'll keep paying and yeah. Yeah.
it's a draw. It's the same reason they put like Netflix puts like a big show on
Yeah,
Netflix
exactly.
is,
Yeah.
oh, I want to get the subs for that month or two, or they'll spread it out so it's not all out at once. They've started to do that somewhat. So
Yeah.
then you have to pay for, oh, they're going to have the first half of the season this month, and then the second half is going to be in 3 months. So you have to pay for 2 months, and
Yeah.
so people will still do it. They'll still sign up just for the one thing, I guess.
Everyone's
But
figuring out all these new models. So
yeah,
yeah.
it's just gonna capitalism, man.
All right.
What are you
Yeah.
gonna do?
Yeah. Speaking of capitalism,
Yeah,
EA is diverting 100% of Immortals of Avium net sales revenue to Ascendant Studios. So this is a studio that's part of EA, and what they've done is this game has gone on Game Pass, it's on everything else, but they're taking 100% of the net sales and giving it back to the original publisher and the developers and everything else. This is a super fucking cool move. Like nobody does this.
yeah.
Can you remember any other time this was done?
No,
No, I can't either.
that's pretty
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the devs are getting all the money,
that's
especially
great.
because there's less money probably. No one knows, but like when it goes to Game Pass and all these things, no one knows what their broker model is and what the deal is, but it's cool that it's 100% of it going to the devs. So yeah, pretty
Good for
cool.
them.
Yeah.
That is cool.
All right, next story.
Retro gaming emulators are topping iOS and Apple TV charts, including one for PSP.
Mm.
It says the iOS App Store emulation explosion continues with PSP and multi-system emulators like RetroArch topping the charts. Yeah, I mean, we knew this was going to happen once they opened up those guidelines to allow that. Although the thing is, like, they're allowing this software, but they're not. You can't like buy those
You
games
still
to put
can't
on
get
them.
you
You got
can't
to
get
get them on
the
there
ROMs. Yes,
somehow,
yeah.
and so
No.
it's like, well, here's a
Here's
bong.
the
We're not.
emulator, but you figure
Here's
out how
a
to get the ROMs. Yes, yeah.
here's a bong. We're not going to give you the
Oh, the
weed, and
weed.
you got to figure out how to get that yourself. But here's the bong. You can put it in there if
Nice.
you want, but we're not going to. You don't tell
This
us
is
where
for
you're getting it.
tobacco. This is for tobacco.
For tobacco.
But if you're
Yeah.
gonna put something else in it, That's on you.
Like, what else could these are for nothing else other than piracy, baby, basically, which is it's such a weird thing. But I mean, I'm glad
That's
they're
such a
allowing it just
good
because.
analogy. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I just came up with that.
Yeah. That was
But
nice. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't downloaded any of them because I have my own actual systems I play on, with some ROMs, I will say. But I'm just not really a person who plays on my phone, like
I
plays
do
games on my
not
phone.
sanction
I
any
want to.
ROMs that Shadow has downloaded. Brian
That's
S.
true.
Emmerich,
Only the
Chicago.
ones that people,
Yes, I
only the
don't.
homebrew stuff that people make themselves. No, no
Ah,
official,
all right.
nothing official.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, yeah,
But I don't like playing the screen with my hands. I like having a controller, so I wouldn't probably ever get one of these
yeah.
unless you could maybe hook it up and play with a controller. I don't know. Uh, but it's cool. I mean, you figure they knew this was probably going to happen. It's not
It
like,
was coming. Yeah.
yeah. And are they, I don't know if they're free or if they're, I mean, RetroArch is free normally and yeah, free apps. Yeah.
I'm
So what
pretty
is
sure
the,
that all these guys have to be free without getting legal implications. So,
okay.
yeah.
So then it's like, well, what is who's getting money here?
So they're getting ad based revenue.
It's just,
So
I
the
guess,
emulator
yeah.
fires up, you got some ads, and then you
Okay.
load your ROM, and then you play it. But yeah, you can't make money off of stealing
And
someone's
it's,
hardware.
yeah. It
Yeah.
says the reason that this actually happened was because of the European Union, because they had to change their rules because their Digital Markets Act said that they couldn't do the walled garden thing where they couldn't
Oh, you
let
have your
anybody else
single app
in.
store. Yep, yep.
They couldn't have all those rules, so then it just opened it up. So
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah. So
Yeah,
hey, get on the EU for pushing this forward. But I mean,
win.
cool, and yeah, I mean, I probably won't use them, but it's cool they're there, and that's interesting. I don't know if this will just die down soon, or if this is going to be kind
No,
of
I think they're still
top
going
of
to
the
go
charts for a
nuts.
while.
But yeah, but it's
Yeah,
win-win. So, all right,
win, win,
next
win.
story. GTA 6 release date now set for fall 2025. So, I know a lot of GTA people were expecting this to come out this year. There was rumors, there were talks, there was
No, they
it
weren't. No way.
no, it was
Not
supposed
this
to be
year.
fall of this year. And now
Maybe 5 years ago. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I can't hear you right now, Derek. I don't know if you can hear me. You're not muted, are you? Okay. I think mine just cut out. Sorry. I'll figure it out. You keep going. I think I think I just lost your audio. Sorry. I don't know. My speakers are working and I just tested them with Zoom. Can you mute and unmute just to check?
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2 2. Check 1 2.
There. Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay. Wow, that was
There
fun.
we go.
Yeah,
Yeah, because like
that was good.
XSplit kept like dropping out.
All right, so we're
Sorry.
back.
We're back.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Anyway,
All right.
so we're talking about game. Well, I left.
So yeah,
There's
we
okay.
did a couple
Cool.
stories while you were gone.
Cool.
Um,
Oh, GTA. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to come out this fall. I
yeah,
figured definitely next fall.
I thought it was this fall, but yes, it
Okay.
is. All right, next
All right.
story.
Speaking of the emulator thing from last story that I did, Vim's Lair, if anybody remembers, there's this decades old game history and quote backup ROM type site that was hit with the DMCA for basically just the Nintendo, Pokemon, Mario, and Zelda games, but that's it, which is very weird. It seemed like some DMCA trolls might have just filed a fake notice or something. If Nintendo, don't know if Nintendo noticed it or not, or if it was somebody else just doing this, but it's been around for like so long. It's like an institution. It looks like a site out of like 2002
Yeah,
or before
nice.
that. And it's just I mean it had backups of like all the old boxes, manuals, and yes, it had ROMs too. But you know, people are ripping their own ROMs anyway. It's not using that site for ROMs, of course. But they took down everything
Of
for their
course.
games, which seemed weird and just kind of out of the blue. So Nintendo's been taking a lot of stuff down recently, so that's why that kind of came to my attention, and I thought that that was a something to bring up because hey, you know, if you like Nintendo things out
Like
there on
the
the
old
web, and
shit. Yeah.
if you like anything that's Nintendo on the web and it's not on Nintendo's website, maybe get whatever you need to get now because it
Um,
could be gone. They're not there, and they don't like anybody putting up videos on YouTube,
no,
really,
they hate it.
of their
Yes,
stuff
yes, yeah.
either,
No, no.
streaming things or whatever, and I don't get it, but I don't know if it's
Yeah.
just their culture or what, but
It's the
unfortunately,
Nintendo way. Yes. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, that's it for that.
All right. Next story. Google's latest Easter egg turns the search engine into Minecraft. So, if you Google for Minecraft or Minecraft shit edition or whatever you're going to do, you're going to get a little pop up that gives you a playable Minecraft. So,
Nice.
pretty lame, but for Minecraft lovers,
Oh,
pretty cool.
my son would love that.
Yeah. So, yeah,
I'll have to show that to him.
just go Google Minecraft from a Chrome web browser. Does not work well from Edge, even though that's my web browser of choice. So yeah,
And in like a year and a half, Internet Explorer will get it.
yeah, Internet Explorer. Yes, yes, yeah. So yeah, definitely go Google Minecraft. Click on the little thing that shows up the bottom and enjoy yourself. It's a cool Easter egg. So yeah. All right.
Nice.
Last
Just
story.
Valve's next game appears to be Deadlock, a MOBA hero shooter. And I want to give my best John Oliver face and voice when I say cool, because
You don't give a shit
really,
about any of
Valve,
this.
really, Valve,
No,
you could make Half-Life 3, but
no.
no, let's make a MOBA. No, are people even playing MOBAs
I don't
anymore,
play
really?
MOBAs. No, no. My son
I mean,
does. One of my sons, yeah.
okay, well then there's that.
He still
It
plays
says
League. So yeah.
mm, says been in the works since 2018 with Ice Frog. Uh, Reportedly what became of the Neon Prime project that has been rumored for a couple of years. Uh,
Yeah, fuck
I
this.
mean,
Right? Like no one gives a shit.
it's meant to be Valve's next major competitive game. I mean, they could do Team Fortress 3,
And yeah,
but
TF3 would have been such a better choice. So
they can't count to 3. So, it's Valve. They can't count to
yeah,
3.
I see
I
what
don't
you did
know.
there. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, 3 anything? Half-Life
Yeah.
3, Portal 3,
Team
Team Fortress
Fortress
3.
3. Yep, yep.
No,
They don't
nothing.
this one doesn't go to 3.
Doesn't
It
go to
doesn't
3
go to
or
11.
or 11. No, neither one.
So you went the same place I was going. So yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So,
Nice.
I mean,
Yep,
6v6 across 4 lanes.
yep, yep.
I don't know. I could keep talking about this, but I just don't
Now
care.
let's just
I'm
end
sorry.
this. Yeah, let's just kill
Okay.
it. Let's just burn this to the ground. All right. That's the
Nice.
news. If you have any news stories that are not about Valve fucking us, give us a call 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tooledplay.com. If you have anything about like some new version of Half-Life, some new version of Team Fortress, just fucking let us know. Just drop it in the comments and we'll go from there because like Brian said, fucking Valve blows it after 2, right? Like they
Yeah,
they don't have it. They don't have
they have no threes.
they have no 3 setting. Meanwhile,
No.
we know that there's an 11 setting. So
Yeah.
yeah, fuck them. All right. You can also comment on this episode's thread in the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors! If we had them, we'd pimp them, but we don't, so we won't. So if you want to sponsor us, give us a call 773-527-2961 and let us know what you want to sponsor and let us know how much you want to pay and we'll negotiate with you. We'll probably take a lot less than you think you need to spend because in case you haven't noticed, we haven't had like a sponsor in like 3 years. It's
I love that number is 773, which is a Chicago number
yes,
because
it
it's
is a
Joel's
Chicago
number.
number. Yes, yes.
It's,
Yeah.
it's Joel's number. So, or one
Well,
of his numbers
it's
back
not
from back
no,
then.
it's just a
It was
Chicago
set up
number.
back
But
then.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Um,
like we could use some sponsors. Like it's been a long time. Like
what
we
do you
used
want? What do you want us to do? We'll do it.
yeah, we used to have Netflix. We used to have the Craft Beer Club. We used to have I'm trying to think it. We had tons of top tier sponsors, which we
Now,
no longer
if we
have.
had sponsors, they'd probably be like, okay, you have to have an episode every week. And you'd be
Yeah,
like,
they
well,
probably say that too. Yeah,
oh
yeah.
well.
Thanks, Brian. All right. Yes.
I guess we're not going to do that.
Yes. All right. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool Player at twitter.com/Tool to Play. Everything Facebook related is at twitter.com. No. That is not right. All right. All right. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/Tool to Play. You can find everything Still Got Game related at twitter.com/still_got_game. Facebook the fuck out of us, facebook.com/Tool to Play. We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tool to Play. That is where we put all of our archive video content, like Selden007 channel and everything else that's going. Yeah, I went there.
Wow, just going for it.
He's not here, so I went there. And all of our archived video content. We have please rate and review the podcast on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. If you don't want to, fuck off. If you do, give us 5 stars and write something nice. We have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/still_got_game. That's twitch.tv/still_got_game. Write something nice there, and we'll go from there. We have a Discord channel.
We have the featured iTunes review. That's never been filled in since I've been here.
Oh, do you want to show an iTunes review?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, no, there probably aren't any. Do people go
No, there are some.
Please do.
The problem is it's the same. It's the same review that was featured like 7 years ago. That's why we don't go there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
We have we have Shadow fucking fucked me up.
I'm just derailing it.
Yeah,
he derails himself anyway. So
I do, but yes. So our discord.me/stillgotgame. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. Selden can make up for his sins there. Shadow will talk to you all day long.
If you have anything related to something.
Yeah. Tiff may go there sometimes. I'm probably never there. Like, even when Shadow's like, are we doing a show this week? Like, it takes me like 6 days to answer him. So, yeah, I am probably.
Yes, we are. It's now the next week, and we're having a show.
Yes. All right. On that, why don't we go on over to our per person pimping? So, Shadow, what do you got this week?
I don't have anything in particular right now. I have my link tree, linktr.ee/Brian S. Emerick, Brian with an I, BRINSEMERICK. If you want to check out all my links there, I've got all my sites and all my charities and things that I want to pimp. So we'll just do that.
All right. And mine is linktree/Derek Nolan. That's linktr.ee/Derek Nolan. It has all of the show's shit. It has all of my shit. No individual things. I'm always going to go for juvenile diabetes and the American Cancer Society. If I don't have something else. So yeah, just go throw some shekels their way. And on that.
I will say, sorry.
Yep.
So since we're all too old to play, we're all probably getting up there in years. Well, not all of us, but
Shadow's like
maybe
70.
some of the people who are listening are. I will say 45 is now the new age for colonoscopies. Go get that done.
No.
That is that's what I don't want to bring it down. But that's what my friend is gone from recently. Do it.
Yeah.
Go get it. 45, go get it done every year.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right, fair enough. No, I've had plenty of colonoscopies, so yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, they definitely reeled that back. So I want to remind you all, you can join us each and every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at youtube.com/Tool to Play, facebook.com/Tool to Play, twitch.tv/still_got_game, x.com/Tool to Play, and kick.com/StillGotGame.
Sure.
And on that, why don't we wrap this D Smooth and Shadow episode up? I am Derek D Smooth Nolan.
I am Brian Shadow Emerick.
Fuck Selden.